This is the second Mariners Capital Conclave. पहली पटना में हुई थी, सेकंड यहाँ पे हो रही है, थर्ड IIT बॉम्बे में हो रही है नेक्स्ट मंथ एंड द रिस्पॉन्स हैज बीन वेरी अमेजिंग। तो यहाँ पे हम लोग खाली धंधे की बात करते हैं, अभी जैसे ही चालू हो जाएगी, इन्होंने धंधा बनाया है उनकी बातें हो रही होंगी, या फिर जो धंधा बनाना चाहते हैं उनकी बातें हो रही होंगी। तो यहाँ दो तरह के लोग हैं आज, जिनकी तिजोरी भरी हुई है, हम खाली करने का हिसाब किताब लेके आए हैं, और जिनकी तिजोरी खाली है उनकी भरनी कैसे हो वो भी हिसाब। तो मेरी ना पहले कॉन्क्लेव में मैंने 15 दिन लगा के स्पीच प्रिपेयर की थी, और मैंने सोचा था कि 10 कॉन्क्लेव तक यही स्पीच बोलूंगा। तो सुबह सुबह मेरी बीवी बोलती है, अगर तुम सेम स्पीच रिपीट करोगे तो अब मैं तुम्हारी कॉन्क्लेव में नहीं आऊंगी। तो कसम भगवान की मेरे पास कोई स्पीच नहीं है आज, और मेरी बीवी बैठी हुई है, वो वीडियो बना रही है वहां से। तो इसीलिए कुछ कुछ लिखा है मैंने, मैं चाह रहा हूँ सब लोग एक बार आ जाएं तो उसको स्टार्ट करें। बट आई एम रियली ग्रेटफुल फॉर ऑल द सपोर्ट आई हैव बीन रिसीविंग थ्रू आउट माई एंटरप्रेन्योर लाइफ। 15 साल की एक मरीनर की एंटरप्रेन्योर जर्नी हो गई, वेयर आई हैव वर्कड डायरेक्टली इनडायरेक्टली with mariners throughout my life, being from a college called DMET. So I guess half of the audience today will also be from DMET. So all the DMETians raise hand. अभी भी DMET वाले हैं। कैप्टन्स को भी अब मैं ला रहा हूँ अपने ही फोल्ड में, कुछ दिन कैप्टन्स भी DMETian कहलाएंगे। So the only thing तुम्हें डिफरेंस हो जाता है मेरी लाइफ में और बाकी लोग की लाइफ में, that I have been blessed by good people surrounding me. That has made my life very easy. So जो लोग मुझे जानते हैं जानते हैं कि मेरा फोन कभी भी आ सकता है और किसी को भी आ सकता है, कोई भी क्वेश्चन का मैं आंसर पूछ सकता हूँ। एंड 15 साल की जर्नी में अगर 400-500 करोड़ का धंधा बना लिया मैंने, तो बेबाक होके मैं पूछता हूँ अब चीजें। एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट I guess the theme of conclave should be कि हम लोग इस जर्नी में अलोन नहीं है, अकेले नहीं है। So I've been धंधा ना मेरा 2-3 बार we have been through bankruptcy है, and उस bankruptcy से भी उठ के वापस आ गए, और बार बार we have come back. I have come back very very strong. Just because I was surrounded by very good people, most of the people would be joining here today, चाहे वो investor हो, चाहे college seniors हो, so we are always there for each other. So छोटा example, आशुतोष सर यहाँ बैठे हैं, जिनकी जर्नी बहुत इंस्पायरिंग है हम सब के लिए। So कहीं ना कहीं जब मैं जंप ले रहा था तो वही आशुतोष सर कर सकते तो हम भी कर लेंगे। And he has built India's largest स्कॉलरशिप प्लेटफॉर्म। अभी कोई ऐसा नहीं कि उनके आसपास कोई कंपीट कर रहा है, एंड दैट इज अ मरीनर हु हैज डन। सो आई गेस आई वोंट यूज टर्म DMETians टुडे बिकॉज 50% ऑफ ऑडियंस इज गोइंग टू बी मरीनर्स। सो अगेन राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर सच पीपल हु हैव मेड आवर जर्नी वेरी वेरी इजियर, क्योंकि देयर इज अ पाथ दैट वी कैन फॉलो। एंड एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूँ। सो आई स्टार्टेड अ रियल एस्टेट कंपनी लेस देन 1 ईयर बैक। तो लोग बोले यार टेक से रियल एस्टेट में कैसे चले। विथ नंबर्स करेंटली वी मैनेज ऑलमोस्ट in 13 months we are managing real estate of 500 crore, and with real estate sold that is 100 crore through us, and 95% of the buyers were mariners. So हम लोग अपने में ही एक यूनिक काम कर रहे हैं, and that is my story is irrelevant, क्योंकि मैं चाहता हूँ यहाँ इस कॉन्क्लेव में आप लोग को इनफ टाइम मिले नेटवर्क करने के लिए, और काफी लोगों को हेल्प मिल जाए, क्योंकि द हेल्प इज ऑलवेज देयर, वी जस्ट नीड टू रीच आउट टू पीपल, हेल्प इज ऑलवेज देयर। अब तो मैं सोचता ही नहीं हूँ इफ आई हैव टू रेज 500 करोड़ रुपीज मेरे लिए कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है। आई नो किसको किससे बात करनी है, किसका पैर पकड़ना है। पर यहाँ हम देखते हैं कि 50 लाख 60 लाख के लिए भी लोग परेशान रहते हैं। सो दैट इज द मेन मोटो ऑफ कॉन्क्लेव कि वी विल लर्न टू हंट एज अ ट्राइब। अपनी जर्नी में वी वोंट बी अलोन एंड इफ वी आर हंटिंग एज अ ट्राइब एंड आई गेस मरीनर्स आर द कम्युनिटी जहाँ ब्रदरहुड का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट। मैं और हिमांशु इस बात पर डिस्कस कर रहे थे सुबह, तो हिमांशु ने अपनी स्पीच में वो चीज डाल दी है, पर हम इसीलिए बोलूंगा नहीं। देयर आर लॉट ऑफ एग्जांपल्स इन आवर फ्रॉम आवर ओशियन गोइंग लाइफस्टाइल जिसको हम लोग इनकलकेट करते हैं अपनी एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप जर्नी में व्हेन वी आर इन लैंड। की डिफरेंशिएटर ऑफ मरीनर स्टार्टिंग बिजनेस वी आर यूज नहीं करूंगा, बट वी आर फकिंग वेरी डिसिप्लिन। हम लोग से ज्यादा कोई डिसिप्लिन नहीं है। दैट इज द की डिफरेंशिएटर कि मुझे पता है कि मैं अपनी डिसिप्लिन से बीट कर दूंगा सामने वाले को बिजनेस में, एंड दैट इज ऑलवेज। ऑन दैट नोट जैसे जैसे लोग आएंगे ऑडिटोरियम भरता रहेगा, बट आई गेस वी शुड स्टार्ट द कॉन्क्लेव। एंड मैं इनवाइट करना चाहूंगा काफी लोग जिन्होंने हेल्प की है। मैं तो चाहता हूँ सब लोग आ जाएं और दिया जला दें, बट आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट फ्यू पीपल। तो जिनको नहीं बुला रहा हूँ बुरा मत मानिए, एवरीवन इज वेरी क्लोज टू माय हार्ट, बट इस कॉन्क्लेव के लिए पीपल हैव सम कोई एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट। गौरव सर, आई वुड लाइक टू इनवाइट यू। आदिश सर, दिया जलाना है उनको। हरीश चौधरी सर, बीन माय मेंटर थ्रू आउट माय लाइफ। आशुतोष सर, अरे हिमांशु सर चले गए। अरे सो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आई गेस दिया जला के इनॉग्रेट कर लें। योगेश सर, थोड़ा सा हाथ लगा दीजिए आप जरा। राजीव सर, हमारा काम हेल्प करो ना सर। राजीव सर, अनिल सर, आ जाइए। मैडम को बुलाइए, मैडम वीडियो कर रही थी। आइए आइए। मैडम को मैं नहीं बुला, आप आओ मैडम। सर, विजेंद्र सर, आओ सर। स्पीकर लाइनअप थोड़ा वैलिड रहता है हमेशा मेरे इवेंट्स में, क्योंकि जब हम लोग धंधा करने में निकलते हैं तो हर चीज़ से पाला पड़ता है, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से, लॉ से, फाइनेंस से। सो इट्स नॉट ओनली कि मरीनर्स को बुला लें और एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हो जाएगी, क्योंकि अगर धंधे की बात कर रहे हैं तो वी शुड हैव स्पीकर्स फ्रॉम ऑल द रेंज जिन्होंने बनाया है, जो कि या फिर एक पर्टिकुलर डोमेन में दे आर रियली रियली गुड। सो हमारे आज दो कीनोट स्पीकर हैं। आकाश चौधरी वाज आल्सो स्पीकर, बट ही हैड अ सर्जरी सो ही कुड नॉट मेक इट, बट वी हैव टू एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी कीनोट स्पीकर्स टुडे। तो आदिश सर, आई गेस मैं उनको इवेंट में ही हमेशा बुला पाता हूँ, तो ही इज सो बिजी एंड टाइम निकाल के वो आ जाते हैं। उनके बारे में मैं ना मैगजीन भी है, उसमें लिखा हुआ है सब कुछ। but he is one of the biggest lawyers of our nation. तो अगर टॉप 4-5 लॉयर होंगे तो आदिश सर का भी नाम होता है. एंड आई एम रियली रियली ग्रेटफुल कि अभी भी वो एक इंटरनेशनल कंपटीशन को जज कर रहे हैं. एज वी स्पीक आई गेस खत्म हो गया वो. एंड ही इज टेकिंग टाइम to join the session, and I'm really really blessed for this honor that एक mariners की community में आदिश सर has been active, क्योंकि जब हांगकांग गए थे सर वहाँ भी सर ने हमारी community को address किया था. And there are solutions that we as a community are seeking right now from government, and where आदिश सर is helping. कई बार ना जैसे मेरी तो आधी से ज़्यादा लाइफ पब्लिक है, but there are a lot of work which is done behind the scene, और जब तक हम लोग कुछ हो नहीं जाता तो बताते नहीं. So there are people who are not part of our community, but they are fighting for us, and one of those folks is Adish sir. So I would like him to come and give the keynote address of the day.
Thank you, Mr. Prateek ji. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. It is indeed a matter of great honor and privilege for me to address this august gathering at the second Mariners Capital Conclave Delhi edition. At the outset, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the organizers for conceptualizing and hosting such important conclave, which brings together thought leaders, entrepreneurs, maritime professionals, innovators, academicians, and policy contributors on a common platform. In today's rapidly changing global economy, such interactions are not merely desirable, they are indispensable. The maritime sector is no longer confined only to shipping. It has emerged as the powerful engine of innovation, entrepreneurship, technology, finance, international commerce, and employment generation. The theme of this conclave rightly reflects the new direction in which the maritime world is progressing, combining wealth creation, technology, institutional growth, startup, innovation, and global trade. I am particularly happy to note that many young entrepreneurs and maritime professionals are participating in today's deliberations. India is presently passing through a transformational phase where youth-driven innovation and enterprise are shaping the future of the nation. The maritime sector offers enormous opportunities for startups, digital innovation, maritime technology, green shipping, logistic management, artificial intelligence, marine education, and international collaboration. India has always been a great maritime civilization. From the ancient ports of Lothal to the modern ports of Mumbai, Chennai, Kochi, and Visakhapatnam, our nation's growth and prosperity have remained deeply connected with the seas. Today, under the visionary leadership of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is witnessing a renewed emphasis on maritime infrastructure, blue economy, logistics, shipbuilding, international trade, and port-led development. The maritime sector is no longer confined only to shipping. It has emerged as a powerful engine of innovation, entrepreneurship, technology, finance, international commerce, and employment generation. The theme of this conclave rightly reflects the new direction in which the maritime world is progressing, combining wealth creation, technology, institutional growth, startups, innovation, and global trade. No nation can become a global economic power without a strong maritime ecosystem. Nearly 90% of the global trade moves through sea routes. Therefore, strengthening maritime infrastructure and encouraging maritime entrepreneurship is directly linked with the India's aspiration to become a leading global economy. I also wish to appreciate the efforts of the maritime institutions and alumni networks such as the Dmet fraternity, whose members have made India proud across the globe through their professionalism, discipline, leadership, and contribution to international shipping and commerce. I am confident that today's deliberation will inspire new ideas and open new avenues for growth and cooperation. I wish the second Mariners Capital Conclave a great success. Jai Hind.
Applause once again for Rajesh sir. And अब लोग तो आते ही रहेंगे क्योंकि संडे है तो काफ़ी लोग का दिन ही 11 बजे स्टार्ट होगा, तो इसीलिए मैंने भी अपनी जो प्रेजेंटेशन देनी थी उसको थोड़ा बाद रखा है कि थोड़ा थोड़ा और बढ़ते जाए। तो क्या पता सर, अगर आपके पास टाइम हो तो ये स्पीच आपकी हम लोग रिपीट करवा देंगे क्योंकि पीपल आर स्टिल कमिंग। तो सेकंड कीनोट स्पीकर ऑफ द डे, स्टार्टअप वर्ल्ड में ना एक मिथ जीव है जिसका नाम है यूनिकॉर्न। सो व्हेन योर कंपनी बिकम्स $1 बिलियन कंपनी, आपको यूनिकॉर्न का दर्जा मिलता है। उसके साथ होने वाले पेन, प्रॉब्लम्स, ये सब कोई नहीं बताता, बट एवरीवन एस्पायर्स टू बी अ यूनिकॉर्न। अच्छा, मेरी भी एस्पिरेशन वही है। आई एम नॉट देयर येट, बट मे बी लाइक इन जिस तरह के चल रहे हैं 6 महीना 12 महीने, नेवर नो। बट हाउ डू यू बिकम यूनिकॉर्न? एक क्वेश्चन है जिसका अगला स्पीकर आंसर करेगा, बट मेरा एक वर्जन है। अब जब ना व्हेन वी आर हायरिंग पीपल, सो कई बार कोशिश होती है कि हम लोग थोड़ा सब स्टैंडर्ड हायरिंग कर देते हैं, चाहे अपनी इनसिक्योरिटी की वजह से। बट इफ वी हायर पीपल हु आर बेटर देन अस एट एनी गिवन पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, दे टेक द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू नेक्स्ट लेवल। अब ये थ्योरी मेरी तब सच हो जाएगी जब मैं अभी यूनिकॉर्न बना चुका हूँगा, पर मुझे जहां तक लगता है कि दिस इज द ट्रुथ कि व्हेन वी हायर पीपल हु आर बेटर देन अस एट एनी गिवन एस्पेक्ट, सो दे टेक द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉरवर्ड। एंड समवन, देयर आर नॉट मेनी पीपल हु हैव डन दिस ट्वाइस, built 2 unicorns in India, especially in healthcare. So we have with us another keynote speaker, Vijayendra sir, who has built 2 back-to-back $1 billion companies. नाम सुना होगा आपने? So he was at leadership of Dr. Lal Path. He took that to as a CEO, international and CEO, to $2.5 billion in 10-11 years time. And then, if I'm not right, he then became CEO of Metropolis Health, if I'm not wrong, Metropolis Healthcare, and took that to in 7 years to $1.3 billion. अब मेरी ना हेल्थ केयर का एक डिवीजन स्टार्ट हो रहा, सो वी नीडेड समवन टू लीड दैट। तो मुझे पता था खुद तो कर नहीं पाएंगे, पैर पकड़ लिया था मैंने सर का जाके कि भाई आप ही कर सकते हो ये काम। एंड मैं बता रहा हूँ, so that division will be $1 billion division in 2 years, just because we have got a CEO who has done that twice. Investors and everyone is lining up, and I would like him. And क्यों इतना अच्छा कनेक्ट है? सर के डैड भी मर्चेंट नेवी से हैं, तो सर के डैड भी कैप्टन हुआ करते थे, तो he sailed for significant amount of time, and that is where our chemistry sets in very, very beautifully. And I would like to invite Vijayendra sir, who has taken time and अपकी लाइफ की थर्ड इनिंग में हमें चांस दिया कि साथ में कुछ कर सकें. तो I guess round of applause for Vijayendra sir.
Good morning, friends, respected guests, mariners. There are a lot of promoters also sitting, entrepreneurs. It gives me a lot of pride to be here today, because the kind of audience today I am seeing here, and my association with mariners is beyond business, because my father was also a mariner, and I have closely watched him and seen the kind of discipline, the sacrifice, most important, the sacrifice, the resilience, and the kind of multicultural environment the profession demands, the profession expects. And when I look back at my own career, I think navigating a ship and navigating a company, the kind of traits required in both are more or less similar. So I think the person who has sailed for long or even a shorter period, by default or by natural, he builds a lot of ability, lot of skills which are most important in any organization, and not just organize, but building an organization to be a unicorn, and also building wealth. For past several years, I've been privileged to be part of two successful journey, which Pratik also mentioned, and that was not by chance or not by luck. And those days there was nothing called unicorn. I remember that I had gone to Silicon once, and the amount of passion, the amount of people used to talk about unicorn, that's what changed my mind also. So it is important that you connect with people, you visit those countries, those places, you meet people who can actually change your mind. That's very important. Because to start any big initiative or to start something which is out of box, I think you need people who can trigger your mind. And every person, every successful person, or every person who has done something, when you talk to him, he will always talk about people. Somebody who has actually come and triggered his mindset, and that's what the journey starts for that person. So until and unless you meet people, and someday you meet somebody who can really trigger the mindset, and that changes your mindset. And that's what was a big game changer for me when I visited Silicon Valley, because I had spent about 30 days in a Haas School of Management and a couple of other big institutes, couple of other big people who had built companies. There were a lot of Indians also. So when I came back, I actually put three things on paper in the company which I am talking about. The three things was, first was, how can I digitize so that the process becomes simple? How can I create a infrastructure which can make the services simple? Because those days in healthcare, and even today also in healthcare, the challenge is to solve big problem. And the problem in healthcare used to be accessibility, trust, building trust. Even technology lacked understanding of people. People didn't understand technology, so that was a big challenge. And still today in healthcare, technology is a big challenge in terms of adoption. So basically, when I got this privilege chance to work for these two companies, I think the first thing was that to solve the problem, a larger problem within the organization and within the industry. Number two, creating trust. Number three, building scale. Number four, resilience. And during COVID time, when you talk to almost all the healthcare people, service providers, they will talk about COVID. What COVID has taught. COVID has really taught us completely different, the paradigm has got shifted because of COVID. Today I'm much more confident after dealing with COVID for almost 3-4 years in India, and that was a real difficult time for everybody, right from the government, right from healthcare service providers, and many more. But the kind of confidence we got, the kind of challenges we got, and the kind of resilience we got into everybody in the healthcare system, right from top to bottom. I think that was a big win-win for all those entrepreneurs, all those leaders, and all those people who really worked in healthcare. So these were the big challenges, but I had never thought that these companies will become unicorn. I didn't go and join these companies to make those unicorns. I just went because of my past experience. I have been from, worked with multiple multinational companies. I have dealt with different situations, but never had I thought that my objective is to build the company to the unicorn. And fortunately, the kind of people we had, like Pratik was also talking, the right talent, the right people, the right mindset, actually got the company into a great success. And today these two companies are big unicorns, so-called unicorns, and still doing very well. I also kind of worked with a company which was a tech-driven healthcare services, and that was a startup. There also, my purpose of joining that company was to understand the tech, because one business is offline and one business is online. There are two different, channels which got developed during COVID. So you'll find a lot of companies who started online business, they really grew during COVID. But post-COVID, these online companies could not scale. Why these could not scale? Because they were lacking offline infrastructure. Example is Lenskart. And there are a couple of other examples also. So the companies thought, why not to get into offline also? Because online channel is one platform. To some extent it can help you in scaling, but until and unless you go closer to patients, you go closer to consumers, you cannot grow. Still, that touch in Indian consumers, that touch is extremely important. Until and unless a patient sees a doctor and the doctor tells him those golden words, कि don't worry, तुम ठीक हो जाओगे, because that actually changes this whole psychology of the patient or the consumers. So that touch is important. So hence, both online and offline businesses are extremely important in the success of growth. So that is what I have learned, and my objective of joining that company was to kind of build offline, because that was more of a online company. How do I integrate both these channels and create a win-win situation for that company? And that it was also pretty successful. Then later on, I decided to start my own venture in a small way and look into other aspects of the business, because I was telling Himanshu also that healthcare business actually sucks. Spending about 20 years out of my 38-year journey, 20 years in healthcare actually sucks you so much, because you have to be 24/7 on toes. So I decided to move out of that company and thought of something else. So I'm doing a couple of small things, not large initiatives, and that's how Pratik met me. Then I thought, let's work together and do something to build another sort of so-called unicorn. I'm not fan of building businesses to unicorn, because my belief is completely different. That's what I'm going to share here. So post my journey, I think I had few learnings. I want to be very crisp about these learnings. So the first learning is what I feel is very strong, that great businesses are not built by chasing valuation. When you talk about uniform, it's all about valuations. Everybody talking about valuation. Even when you go to hospital, a doctor, a senior doctor, or the promoter who's a doctor will talk about EBITDA, will talk about profit and loss. So do not chase valuation. The only objective is to solve the problem. Solve the problem of the business, solve the problem of people, solve the problem of consumers. Making services, making your SOP so simple that it is adopted very well by the employees, because the challenge in healthcare and many other businesses is that adoption is a big problem. Whether it is doctor, when you talk to a doctor about technology, the adoption will become a big challenge. I'm not sure whether people from healthcare tech are there, except Pratik, are there any somebody from tech into healthcare, like Dr. I think Anilji is there. So adoption is a big challenge. So look at solving problems, look at creating systems and processes which makes the life simple, and do not chase valuations. And the mantra here is build value than valuations. That is the first mantra which I have learned. Number two, I think, which is again very important, which most of us know, that business is all about network, people to people, whether he's a consumer, whether he's a buyer, seller, everybody is people, everybody is human being. So I think people invest in people only. The investors would look at profit and loss, look at balance sheet, look at return on capital employed, return on equity. But a good investor will back conviction, will back somebody who has execution capability, a person with high degree of integrity, a person who can be resilient. So that kind of investments will actually can be one of the steps to make the organization not only big but also a unicorn. So second mantra is people can make it and people can break it. The third learning, which I think is very, very important and very critical, when you invest or when you work in an organization, when you choose to work, then try to look at something which is a company which is in early stage. Because when I started my first company, my first unicorn company, it was a very small company. In Indian rupee, it used to do about 30-40 crore annually. And today that company has become $2.5 billion. So that startup actually gave me that opportunity to not only build the organization but also create wealth, not only for myself but also for the investors, for selected employees, and of course the promoter. So start from beginning, a company which comes with a good idea, which comes with lot of ethics, lot of passion, lot of obsession. I think that's a good opportunity for an investor, for even entrepreneur, for anybody who wants to get into this wealth creation mode. Remember that India is talking about multi-trillion economy by I think 2040 or so, in next 2 decades. Today we are a $3 billion trillion economy. Now we are talking about 40 trillion. So there's a big opportunity. So India is going to be a big hub for wealth creation. And mark my words, I've seen the journey in last 15-20 years. Those people who invested 15 years or even 10 years back, started something, a new idea, an innovative idea. Today those guys are big, billionaires. Today the time has gone when wealth creation was done by traditional businesses, industries who have been in the business for 40, 50, 100 years. Now people have created those valuations within 10 years. Look at Zomato, look at Blinkit, look at many other companies. Look at Nykaa. Within no time. So today actually the time has come when the legacy is not important, where people talk about nepotism. At least in business there is no nepotism. There is nepotism, but there is a larger vacuum where anybody can start. Today in this room also you will find a lot of hidden talent, a lot of hidden business promoters who can today build huge businesses. So India is full of opportunity, and grab the opportunity. Since this fraternity, mariner fraternity, has got good investments, good money, financially very strong, understanding of global exposure, so use those traits into identifying right opportunity to invest into. The next learning, I think most important learning for me, is to share your wealth. Until and unless you have people, or until and unless you have people who has got skin in the game, until and unless you have people who will share your vision or the promoter's vision, you may not succeed. So sharing wealth is extremely important. In my last 2-3 ventures, the promoters have really shared their wealth. They have become really big, but also shared with their key stakeholders, because consistency in any business is important. You cannot have a business where there is a lot of attrition, because you train people, you spend so much in building or developing the most important aspect of the business, which is the human resource. You have to take this stance, and you have to ensure that people are happy, people are given freedom, build those entrepreneurial skills in those people, and show them future. That's very, very important, because I have seen promoters who will say, "Our salary will to rahi hai." There are many business houses, traditional business houses, I don't name here, they will not share any wealth. They think that their brand is big enough, they can attract talent, but at the end of the day, that skin in the game, and look at the attrition rate of those companies is very high. And that is why smaller companies are growing much faster, because of these factors. So the mantra here is culture. Build a culture wherein people are transparent, people come to you, discuss with you, you also act like one of them, and build their careers, build their wealth also. So these are the 4-5 important mantras. And end of the day, if I have to the purpose here is that what is there for a mariner to actually to participate in this large opportunity, the ocean of opportunity. I think you can become leading partners with some funds. You can create a investment syndicate of all the mariners. Beyond real estate, because real estate is definitely a big thing, a very big thing in India. So build an investment syndicate of mariners, have more people into that, like Dr. Agarwal, and there are a couple of other good stakeholders who can help guide in governance especially, and build that forum, so that in India people talk about this forum, because globally there are many such forums like TIE, which has got different formats, and they are known people in the investment fraternity. So I think somewhere, Pratik, build that syndicate so that it becomes the top of the mind for all the investors, all the entrepreneurs who wants to actually get money. Apart from that, you can also think of helping youngsters, entrepreneurs, supporting them by funding, and also helping them in networking and so on and so forth. So there are many sort of stuffs. I had a stint with one of the private equity also, because there I wanted to understand the other side of the business. Right from identifying right target, what kind of valuations, what kind of things are required. So those things, you have to continuously keep learning from here and there. That learning should not stop. So to build a great business or a unicorn, I think there are 4 parameters, 4 verticals which are important. One is growth with ethics. Number 2 is profitability with purpose. Number 3 is leadership with integrity. And number 4 is, to some extent, governance. Because governance in India is very, very critical, because you know that the kind of hardship all the entrepreneurs has to undergo because of processes, because of whether it is data security, whether it is something else. So you have to abide by all those, governance related stuff. So these are some of my thoughts, and as and when we interact, I think we can discuss more on these aspects. But yes, India is a great country, and I also love my country. I have never worked outside India, and that's what India needs actually, more sincere investors to create wealth. Imagine from 3 trillion to India talking about some 30-40 trillion economy. There are going to be you need number of entrepreneurs, number of ideas, so much of investments, so much of leaders. It's a bouquet of so many opportunities. So thank you so much, and thanks Pratik. It was great honor to be here, and hope to see you soon next. Thank you so much.
So मैं चाहता हूँ कि आदेश सर को और विजेंद्र सर इसमें शीट में नहीं था, but I would like if people have questions from both of them, तो कुछ 5-10 मिनट हम लोग Q&A के लिए दे सकते हैं. So I would like to invite Adesh sir also on the stage. So audience में किसी का भी कोई question है तो they can raise hand and ask. किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन है? मेरे तो बहुत क्वेश्चन है वैसे.
विजेंद्र सर, थैंक यू. मेरा क्वेश्चन विजेंद्र सर से है. सर, आपका मैंने डिटेल्स यहाँ पढ़ी. विद यू लेड सम वेरी बिग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एज ए CEO, एंड आपने वैल्यूएशन की भी बात की. मेरा क्वेश्चन वैल्यूएशन से ही है, बिकॉज जब हम वैल्यूएशन की बात करते हैं तो इंटरेस्ट ज़्यादा जगता है. लोग आपसे देर तक उसके बारे में बात करना चाहते हैं. पर्पस पे बात करने के लिए इन्वेस्टर्स थोड़े से रिलक्टेंट होते हैं, एंड दे वांट टू सी हाउ फास्ट द मनी विल मल्टीप्लाई. इस पे आपका कोई गाइडेंस?
हाँ, यू आर राइट, बिकॉज मैं भी देखता हूँ, बिकॉज सिंस आई हैव बीन ऑन द अदर साइड ऑल्सो, एंड एट टाइम्स आई यूज्ड टू ऑल्सो आस्क कि why valuation is so much high, how can you kind of hasten your sort of return on investment, because see, investment is what, money is what, money is something which is generated from different people, जिसको हम लीडिंग पार्टनर्स बोलते हैं. एक लीडिंग पार्टनर्स होता है, एक जनरल पार्टनर्स होता है. जनरल पार्टनर वो होता है जो कि उस मनी को डिप्लॉय करता है, बट उसके पीछे एक लीडिंग पार्टनर होता है, एंड दीज GPs आर अकाउंटेबल फॉर to those leading partners, because ultimately fund उनका है. So his responsibility becomes to actually multiply that money as fast as possible, क्योंकि competition is so much. But इसका भी एक तरीका होता है कि that is what relationship counts. Because आप किसी के पास आप फर्स्ट टाइम जब मिलते हो तो आप उससे वैल्यूएशन की बात मत करो, आप इधर उधर की बातें करो. बिकॉज तीसरा चौथा जब आपका राउंड होता है, बिकॉज द अदर पार्टी एंड दिस पार्टी बोथ हैव टू be in both have to have an alignment. क्योंकि नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि why businesses fail because of alignment. Investors versus promoters दोनों में कई बार देखा कि बहुत प्रॉब्लम होता है, and I'm telling you 90% there is a problem in the investor and the promoter. So until and unless there is an alignment, there is a timeline कि भैया देखो 6 साल मेरे को कुछ मत बोलो या 4 साल मेरे को कुछ मत बोलो. Once that alignment is there, then it becomes easy to actually value, because then more than valuation you will look at the person. यार ये आदमी ठीक है, they will support, they will value add to my business, they will create that networking for me, they will create those business lines. So that relationship actually matters. अगर वो relationship बीच में नहीं आएगा, then these things will come. Because first meeting में आप अगर valuation की बात करोगे तो it's not going to get closed. So relationship is important. That comfort, create that comfort for that partner, and promoter also has to create that comfort. I'm telling you, मैं तो 90% डिस्काउंट कर रहा हूँ, 99% इस लाइन में फेल होते हैं. And there would be many investors sitting here also. The kind of challenges they face once they invest with false commitment, उसके बाद business goes haywire. And I've been into that position also where these things happen, and it took a lot of time to actually build companies. If there is an alignment, then I think it becomes easy for both the parties to scale faster. So that's very important. Relationship is important, and create that comfort. Otherwise वो mathematics होता है, क्या discounted मेथड होता है जिसको बोलते हैं कि आप फ्यूचर कैश फ्लो को डिस्काउंट करो और उसके ऊपर वैल्यूएशन हो, उसका कोई तरीका नहीं। इंडस्ट्री बेंचमार्क होते हैं, बेस्ट इज टू फॉलो इंडस्ट्री बेंचमार्क, बिकॉज इंडस्ट्री में कहीं ना कहीं वो मल्टीपल सेट होता है, बट बिफोर दैट आई थिंक बिल्ड दैट कंफर्ट, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
थैंक यू सर।
Good morning, everyone. Inspiring address, Mr. Vijayendra sir. Same for others. My question is for you, Mr. Adarsh, Dr. Adarsh, in fact. You are a senior member of the law community yourself, and as a small-time entrepreneur, how can lawyers be enablers to entrepreneurs to succeed as a business? Because I can share my experience. Every time I review a contract or an agreement, I resist, consulting a lawyer because of their high fees.
That's a very good question.
So I look at ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and I try to make an assessment of what is written there is, okay for me as a businessman or an entrepreneur, and I should not be on the wrong side of it. But how can lawyers enable entrepreneurs in helping them out to understand and do due diligence for new businesses?
Once you consult the lawyers, then there are very less chances of your failure. Because lawyer always see the other side, what will be the negative. Because normally when you go for investment, promoter will project, in 2 years, in 1 year this, and 2 years this, and the 3rd year like this. But we always, when we accept any brief also, we see what will be the defense of the other side. So we never suggest our client to go for those dreams. We try to tell them what is the truth. So once you decide, after knowing the minus points, after knowing that you will not have your increase of your profit in the investment, then you will be sustaining in the business. Because if you go with this presumption, what it has been projected, and in 1 or 2 years you feel, oh, there is nothing, then you will also run away. And investor should be there for longer period. In small period, nobody can be successful. I used to be controlling the legal education in India. Means I used to give permission for starting the law schools. I never given permission for starting a law college with 1 section. I told I will give you minimum 2 sections so that you can survive. With 1 section, you can't survive. So when a lawyer, a true lawyer, who is having the experience, if you are consulting that, then you will be not in dreams. You will not come under that within 2, 3, 5 years. You will be number 1 company in India, or you will have certain percentage of increase of your profit. So that will be the only plus point, and you will remain investor. You will go with a long-term investment. Once you sustain the original time, like child is there, newly born. If you expect newly born child to run, compete, then it is your business. So, but if you can have a plan for 10 years, 15 years, then you can sustain. So, this is the only plus point. Lawyers may be charging, and lawyers like me, when you are a senior designated, they charge too much. So, but
You can't afford you, sir. Seriously, can't afford you, sir. Sir.
So thank you so much. A very inspiring talk both. I just want to know more in governance part. You said 4 pillars. One, value, follow value. Second, leadership with integrity. And then, but in good governance part, I run an organization for last 15 years, and this is doing good. It has largest in scholarship. But what all things, because you have seen 10 to 100 and 100 to 10,000 journey, what all things we should be careful of right now? We have good governance practices, anything to everything which I do, but anything which you can show us, guide us, okay, how to take this forward from for 10 to 100 to 10,000 journey.
I think which I keep talking about in corporate world is to be a good corporate citizens. So when I say good corporate citizens, it actually means governance. Because all the organizations are governed by certain laws. Dr. Agarwal can share more on that. And it also includes a lot of statutory stuffs also. Within organization, there are so many laws which one has to follow, especially on equality. Because organizations falter in equality. Because these are very strict, there are very strict laws on these. POSH, transparency, building a culture of transparency. See, governance is more about culture. And in that culture, it's like a house where you keep fighting, but at the end of the day, you are all same. You eat same, you sleep under same roof, you breathe similar. So that culture has to build, and to me, governance is about culture, a good culture. Transparency, high degree of integrity, openness, and abiding by all the laws. Other than that, there is nothing which I'm sure in the last 15 years you must be following those. So create an environment where you talk about, good corporate citizens. We only talk about good country citizens, but we must talk about corporate citizens also. So that culture has to build. Governance is all about culture. And what kind of culture you want to build, you have to discuss, you have to talk to people, giving right opportunity to everybody. That is one of the biggest culture. Transparency again, as I mentioned. So there's a battery of lists, but that culture, that governance part, that culture has to be built by you, because culture is all about philosophy. What is that objective of organization? What is that philosophy you are following? And hence you rally all the people around that focus.
करेंगे तो मिल जाएंगे. Any school, private school, कि अगर आपको मीटिंग चाहिए, ये मैंने बहुत बार किया है ओनर से, तो बस यही बोलना होता है कि हरीश चौधरी सर ने मुझे भेजा है आपसे मिलने के लिए, and you get direct entry. So he has given his life for solving school education system problems, and because of him, me and Himanshu exist, and many of us exist, and I guess lot of our journey, काफी एडटेक वाले हैं नहीं यहाँ पे, उनकी जर्नी में बहुत मदद की है सर ने. So big round of applause for Harish Chaudhary sir, and I guess we owe a lot to him. मुझसे ज़्यादा हिमांशु. तो हिमांशु शायद अच्छी स्टोरी शेयर कर सके. मैं चाहूँगा कि वो हमारे दोनों गेस्ट को फेलिसिटेट कर सके. अच्छा, शेड्यूल के हिसाब से एक ब्रेक होना था, पर मैं चाहता हूँ कि हरीश सर का सेशन हो जाए, उसके बाद we'll take a short break and when we'll reconvene. So I would like to invite Harish sir to do his magic. मुझे तो जब भी हरीश सर बोलते हैं थोड़ा मज़ा आता है बहुत, क्योंकि मुझे जो इंजॉय करने वाले टीचर अच्छे लगते हैं, जो बहुत टेक्निकल पढ़ाते हैं, तो मैं सो जाता था. सो अगर आप हरीश सर के 3-4 सेशन अटेंड करोगे, then you also will know कि why he is the Amitabh Bachchan of the school education system. But आज का टॉपिक में भी something different, but मजा तो खूब आएगा. So I would like to invite Harish sir on stage.
विजेंद्र सर ने जो कहा, मैं वहां से टेक ऑफ करना चाहता हूं. ग्रोथ विद एथिक्स. There's a student of mine, she has just submitted her PhD. She was working in, she's our own student, MBA student from IIT Delhi, and worked with McKinsey and a number of other companies in US for long. And she's worked on, her thesis is on longevity of organizations. And she looked at various theories and the 100 longest surviving companies of India and the world. And one thing which comes out very, very, very clear is that profits, profitability and valuation is not a mantra for longevity. With due respect to the young ladies here, I hope they won't mind. Profitability to me and profits to me and valuation are short term. Yes, you can be in the short term game and you can have a lot of short term games, and there are serial investors and entrepreneurs. But to me it's something like deciding on your life partner based on the looks of that person. So some of us have had happy married life for 1 to 3 years, and after that the reality strikes. And as Vijayendra sir said, alignment. In the long run, those companies, those organizations will survive which contribute to the well-being of the society. I am categorical and clear about it. In 1971, Bangladesh was formed and there was a huge influx. I was in school, some of us, the younger people, were not here, they were in some other planet or some other place, I don't know where they were. And there was a Holocaust. At Albert Hall, London, there was a Jugalbandi of Jimi Hendrix and Pandit Ravi Shankar, and that was titled O Bangladesh. In the opening remarks, Jimi Hendrix said, and that's documented. Excuse me, please. Can you just tell them to quieten down a little? Sorry, that's disturbing me, not probably you. Jimi Hendrix in his opening remarks said, the hottest place in hell is reserved for men, those businessmen who in moments of moral crisis refuse to take sides and appear to be neutral. You know, the crisis of mankind has not been the negative people, but it is the non-involvement of the positive people. Business is the foundation, the cornerstone, the bedrock of an economy. Unfortunately, for a variety of reasons, that is not stated in as many words, although it came out very, very clear, you can Google it, in the Vora Committee report on Bombay Blast in 1993. I am also very clear that there can be fiscal policies, monetary policies, approaches to growth. Growth without ethics will lead to disaster. There are societies which have moved from barbarism to capitalism without the advent of civilization in between. Statement made by a British Prime Minister. Yes, we are looking at growth, and a rapid growth. We have a young population, but there's a big debate. Is this young population an advantage or a disadvantage. It becomes an advantage if they're educated. Educated in the sense of education, not schooling certificates, not college degrees. I don't confuse degrees with education. The only route to development of a society or a nation is through education. 24 years back, I joined IIT Delhi in 1988, and I'm still a professor here for whatever reason. Because I needed the salary. Yes, I came from the corporate sector and I joined here at half my salary. From 8,000 rupees a month, I came down to 4,000 rupees a month because I wanted to be in academics, but I still need the salary. It took me about 15 years to buy a house, to buy a car, to have money for my son's education. Life was comfortable. And I started asking myself, am I adding value? And the answer was no. These kids in this institute, this beautiful institute, are the best of the lot. They have come through the most, if I say, competitive examination in the world, called joint entrance examination. And they'll do well with themselves. I think IIT Delhi has produced the largest number of unicorns in this country. At the last count, it was 28 out of 115 when I took a look at the data in India. They'll do well. They'll always do well with education, with the classes, without the classes, with the teachers, without the teachers, in spite of the teachers. No issues about it. And I said, does it matter? And my answer was probably no. Can I help those students who are in the one layer lower, those who are in the 60%, 55%, 75%? So I went off as a director to a management school in Dehradun, which also happens to my school city. And very quickly I realized the problem lies with the schooling, the school system. So last 16, 17 years, Himanshu, with support from Himanshu and his team, we have been working on that. A very dear friend of mine, Sandeep Srivastava, at a point of time, one of first or second conferences which we held in IIT Delhi with 800 odd delegates, he said we should set up a desk to let principals and school owners come with their problems and we'll solve them. I said, Sandeep, I can't do it. I don't know the answers. But about 10 years later, I claim, and after having studied schools nationally and internationally, Himanshu and I have been visiting schools. He was in Silicon Valley last week. We have been visiting schools in Germany, UK, France, Australia, Italy. Japan tour is on the annual. Arnav has been visiting Singapore, Finland, UK, etc. And looking at schools nationally. 10 years later, we said, yes, now we have the answers. We know the problems, we have the answers, and we have a team. And we have been working in these schools. There are issues in education. At the same time, India is a very fortunate country. When we became independent, we didn't have the money, the government didn't have the money to provide education. But the private capital flowed in. And today, although the number of private schools in India is about 3.5 lakhs, which is about 20% of the total number, but the enrollment is close to 50%. So the government has done its job and business has to do its job. Two, I also want to talk to you a little about schools as a business. Yes, it's charitable. Yes, it has to be in a society format, except for international schools. Now we have, at the last count, 972 international schools in India, which are not limited by the, if I say, the board regulations of infrastructure, land, etc. As a matter of fact, my first surprise was just post-marriage. I was working with a company called Hindustan Lever in Banbury, Bombay. And my wife had done her BCom from HR College, Bombay. I asked her, where is this college? She said, Banbury Mission. I said, where? Close to Hindustan Lever's office. I said, I've been going there for months and I haven't seen it. Where is it? Show me. I was from, my school had a 70-acre campus, my institute had a 844-acre campus. She took me there and she said, here it is. Where is it? Here it is. I looked up, there was this board, HR college. On the ground floor is KC College. Any one of you who has been to Bombay and seen this near Church Gate. And that was quite an eye-opener for me. ऐसे भी होता है. And recently we visited international school in Bombay, which is on 14th floor. 14th to 16th floor, 3 floors are occupying. And now there is a university here next door at Cyber City, which is occupying certain floors in the Cyber City called Masters Union. So I'm suggesting international schools. We are not governed by, as a matter of fact, there was a report which said that education should be in the corporate sector. But well, that's a debate that will go on. Growth with ethics. I'm categorical, without ethics, growth won't last. City Montessori School, 61,000 students in one city. Fee point around 6,000 rupees a month. You can look up on the net. You can do the math. Ryan International, 147 fully owned schools, no franchisees. There are models, there are different business models. I have not come across many schools which have shut down. If they have shut down, yes, I have come across them. It has largely been because of the business model failure. Because somewhere they got carried away and did not look at the finances appropriately. But interestingly, when we started doing the workshops, we found that that was the most demanded session on financial management and statutory issues. The second strand I want to take up is also from respected Vijayendra Singh's talk. Profits with purpose. See, there's a huge difference between profits and profitability and profiteering. Profits are good. Profiteering, perhaps not. It's a little short term. What binds a group together, what binds an institute together, what binds the house of Tatas together and the house of Reliance together is not their profit margin. And once again, as he said, share the wealth. Infosys was the first company in India which looked at it carefully and which came out with policies to give shares to their employees, including Mr. Narendra Modi's driver, who became a billionaire. We know that story. Purpose. You use a product, you discard it. How long do you associate with it? How long did you associate with a brand of soap or a brand of a car? You buy a Honda car today, 5 years down the line you want to buy another car or change this, and you find that BMW is a better vehicle to shift. That car belongs to you, you don't belong to it. But school is something that a brand stays with you for life. For life. With pride we say, I studied in this school. And therefore, you come back to it. IIT Delhi, for that matter. We are sitting on a corpus of well over 1,000 crores from the alumni network. My school, whenever they have an 8-member team in Delhi of my school office who keep organizing events, and the next one they're doing is in London next week, and the next month is in New York. Similar kind of a group. We are a community, and that community has assured the headmaster of the school, whenever you want, however much of money you want, just let us know, we will raise it. And it has been done time and again. Because we got value from it. At the end of the day, we believe that that school, that set of teachers gave us what we have in life today. So can we You can look at businesses, and I'm not even suggesting that schools as a business is one of the best businesses. No, it may not be. It may not be the most profiting. It may not be the most giving you the highest valuation. It may not be. But it gives you a purpose. It is that purpose which binds people. It is that purpose, that vision, that mission, which is going to keep your group together. Which will ask you, what's the legacy you're leaving behind? One of my school principals, unfortunately, is no more. A few years back, when he was alive and a great man, Mr. Shomedas, I can take his name because he has permitted me to, so I said I'd quote him. We were having a conference in Dehradun, and we were sitting at the breakfast table, and he said, you know, Harish, I'm happy, I'm dying. I said, excuse me, how can you be so gloomy? He says, no, I don't have the answers. When my grandchildren ask me, why have you made this world such a lousy place to live in? Why have you spoiled the nature? Why are countries at war? Why is there pollution? Is this what you are leaving us behind today? And I'm suggesting, it is extremely difficult to change attitudes of grown-ups. That's well known in psychology, has dealt with it a lot. But school is the foundation. If we can instill a set of values, the 4 values which Sir said a while back, I have my own set, but I'm going to stick to it because that's going to be the theme and can be a theme for the future. Growth with ethics, profits with purpose, leadership with integrity and governance. And yes, we did talk of governance, but to me governance is being honest to the society, following the rules, and of course, the legal aspect of it. What is the legacy you will leave behind? Are we just going to vanish? Or are we going to live a life of purpose and leave a legacy behind? And that is the challenge. And that is where I am going to suggest to this group, to Pratik, to others sir, to Vijayendra sir, and to all the senior people here, about 50 people in this room, we have a very important role to play. There are about 144 commissions which have been commissioned post-independence to review our education system. About 6 of them are more popular, and most of them can be classified, their findings classified into 3, 1, 2, 3. Reach, equity and quality. And the wordings have changed. The government has done a great job of reach, sure. But reach alone will not solve the issue. With technology coming in, with AI coming in, with the world becoming a global competitive place, we need to produce leaders, world leaders. And this is where we start. One of my classmates, sorry my time is up, and therefore my last statement. One of my classmates is currently dean at Harvard Business School, and we were at Harvard. I asked him, and there were some other people, who were 1 or 2 professors from ex-IIT Delhi alumni. And we were sitting in this room, and he said, because I come from the business school here, how do you teach management? And he said, we don't teach management. So I said, okay, fine. How do you teach business? You're a business school. He said, we don't teach business. I said, what do you do? And he said, we make global leaders. Mark these words, how powerful it can be. We make global leaders. Education is not about Hindi or English or geography or maths. All of it. But it's also about values. Excellent education without values will result in producing world-class criminals. We don't need wars. We need to market peace. We need to market brotherhood. And for that we need global leaders. Can we produce global leaders? And I'm going to extol Pratik to extol this community of leaders, entrepreneurs, to invest significantly in education so that we make a better and a saner society. Thank you so much.
My question, you had a reference to ethics in business, and also as consumers or in the market, you observe ethical behaviors of entrepreneurs and businesses. A small snippet. Many years ago, I was on a vacation in the United States. I was at my younger brother's place. I bought, the coffee was running out, so I bought a brand called Folger's Coffee. So I brought it home. I had no idea what it was. I bought it in the supermarket. And he said, we never buy this. I said, why? I said, because then he gave me a long explanation. How it is based on some child labor in Colombia or something. And then he gave me a list of brands. And I found that not just him, there were a lot of his friends and colleagues who were like that. They had certain associations. And later when I sailed, I remember once in Jordan, you couldn't find Coke because they said Yehudi, Jewish. There was no Coke there. But like in a country like India, I wonder if we are still, there are a lot of many giant business houses, I won't take some of their names, they're indulged in massive environmental depredation, right? Their IPOs are going up, their profitability is huge. Who's questioning this? And when will people start questioning these things? I agree that you can put the foundation in school early, but the market doesn't seem to care. So much of, you talk about global wars and global capital, it's funded by business houses and supported by SAIL. You can't ignore that also because profit has to go on. You won't stop drinking Starbucks coffee because, X, Y, Z. So, are we, in India, are we still ready to question ethical aspects of business? And it's a rhetorical question, but you may answer this. Thank you.
So another student of mine has submitted her PhD and awarded on cause-related marketing. And she studied the companies which associate social causes. And net what she has found is customers would prefer those organizations and products which relate to a social cause. However, they are not willing to pay extra for it. So it's fine to have a social cause, but the customer is price conscious, level 1. The customer is taste conscious, level 2. Raj Shishodia, alumni of IIT Delhi at Conclave, is running an Institute of Conscious Capitalism, where he studied companies which have lasted over 100 years across the globe. And his finding is, companies which had an ethical vision have lasted longer than the others. In the short run, sir, you're absolutely right. However, my request to you is, business has two aspects: profit, money, if I may say money management, and leadership. The first part, yes, how profitable you can be. But the second, leadership often implies being willing to change the route. And that is where we need to come together as a business community and say, yes, there can be money which can be made by fly-by-night operators, which can be made by unethical practices. Can we be leaders who push for ethics? That's my question. It's not easy. It is easy to flow with the times. It's more difficult to flow against the current. Sure.
The young folks wanted to meet him to ask for a job in his company. So मैंने बोला कि भाई 1-to-1 कर लेना, मुझे रेज्यूमे मत भेजना, मैं नहीं करवा सकता है. So we know that Captain Josani, जो marine fraternity से जितने भी लोग हैं, he is building ships card, and I guess the interesting part is the way he is building. Very less people are building ship spare part in certain fashion. मैं कैप्टन को बुला रहा हूँ हरीश सर को फेलिसिटेट करने के लिए, और उसके बाद वही रहेंगे स्पीकर. कि building his journey of building ship's card from Delhi NCR. कैप्टन ध्रुव सांझ दिल्ली में 20 मिनट बहुत कम थे, ज्यादा समय का बहुत पैसा लेते हैं हरीश सर। तो हरी सर, कैप्टन सर, अब आप नहीं ब्रेक नहीं, लेट्स कंटिन्यू, क्योंकि मुझे लग रहा है कि अब माहौल बन रहा है तो कंटिन्यूटी मेंटेन रखते हैं। सुना, मेरे बैच में, आई कम फ्रॉम ए कॉलेज कॉल्ड DMIT, पहले ही बोल दिया, एंटरप्रेन्योर्स बहुत कम है शिपिंग में, बहुत कम है। मेरे बैच में आई एम द ओनली फुल टाइम एंटरप्रेन्योर। मुझे लगता है आशुतोष सर के बैच में भी सिमिलर होगा ट्रेंड, मुझसे सीनियर आई गेस 2-3 होंगे। ये क्यों है, इसका रीजन हो सकता है कि 4-5 कॉन्क्लेव करने के बाद पता चल जाए, बट हो सकता है कि माइनर्स को पैसा ही इतना मिलता है कि वो एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना ही चाहते हैं। सो लॉट ऑफ माय बैचमेट्स स्टार्टेड, चीफ का लाइसेंस लेने के बाद दे स्टार्टेड समथिंग, फिर मुझसे बोले यार इतना पैसा तो हम, इससे अच्छा है सेलिंग चले जाते हैं। क्योंकि जैसे ही आप टेबल के इस साइड आते हो आपको सैलरी नहीं मिलती है, फिर आपको देनी पड़ती है। फिर उसके बाद $12,000 तो हम पा रहे थे, ये 12,000 कब आएगा? तो मेरे पास उसका आंसर है, क्योंकि अब मैं अपनी सैलरी विड्रॉ करता हूँ, 15 साल बाद आता है वो धंधा चालू करने के 15 साल बाद। तो मैं वही बोलता हूँ कि जब तुम धंधा स्टार्ट कर लो तो फिर तुम पांचू हो, and you will take the same amount of time which you took in becoming captain or chief engineer to build that business. वो 2 साल, 3 साल, 4 साल, 5 साल बाद नहीं आता। So it took me 15 years to make कि चीफ इंजीनियर की सैलरी अपनी कंपनी से उठा सकूं। और वो 15 साल ना, काफी लोगों ने तो मेरी जर्नी काफी क्लोजली देखी। कई बार तो ऐसा लगता है कि भाई गए, अभी भी ऐसा लगता है कि बैच भी बड़ी होती जा रही है। तो मेरी वाइफ को तो हमेशा लगता है कि यार पागल है आदमी, पूरा पागल है। तो 3-4 महीने पहले तक मेरी वाइफ को ना बहुत कम आइडिया था कि मैं करता क्या हूँ। तो मैं 1 महीना हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट था। तो उस केस इतने लोगों ने उस अस्पताल में फोन किया था, ओनर से लेकर सबको, कि वहां पे बैंड कर दिया गया था कि भाई अब हाथ जोड़ रहे हैं आप, इतने तो नेता के भी लोग नहीं आते जितने आप क्या रहे हैं, हमें हॉस्पिटल चलाने में बहुत दिक्कत हो रही है। देन माय वाइफ रियलाइज कि मैं कुछ तो अच्छा कर रहा हूँ, कि इतने लोग जानते हैं मुझे। मुझसे डॉक्टर ही पूछ रहे हैं भाई आप करते क्या हो? मुझे बोला यही तो मैं सोचना चाहता हूँ, मैं करता क्या हूँ। 15 साल तो यही खोजने में लग गया, बट ठीक कुछ तो अच्छा काम किया है मैंने कि आप लोग आ गए यहाँ पे। एंड कैप्टन ध्रुव का ना बहुत बड़ा फैन हूँ, बिकॉज इट टेक्स लॉट ऑफ करेज टू स्टार्ट समथिंग एंड टेक इट टू सम स्टेप वेयर पीपल रिकॉग्नाइज यू। सो कई बार मेरे दोस्त लोग ना शिप स्पेयर का बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने जाते हैं, सो वो भी एग्जांपल देते हैं कि वी वांट टू बिल्ड अ प्लेटफॉर्म लाइक शिप्स कार्ड, एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई गेस कुछ तो डिकोड कर दे तो मेरे पास कुछ आंसर रहे उनको बताने के लिए कि भाई ये सब भी ऐड कर लो, तो मे बी दे कैन गिव बेटर कंपटीशन टू कैप्टन ध्रुव इन फ्यूचर, बिकॉज द इंडस्ट्री एज अ शिपिंग इंडस्ट्री वी आर हैंडलिंग 90% ट्रेड। तो कैप्टन ध्रुव जैसी तो बहुत कंपनी के बहुत स्कोप है, but he is doing an extraordinary work. I guess we all are fans of Captain Dhruv, especially the women. लड़कियां भी इनके लिए हायरिंग आसान हो जाती है अभी कंपनी में, worth it for sure. So I would like to invite Captain Dhruv on stage.
Thank you so much, Prateek. इतना ज़्यादा बोल दिया कि अब मुझे भी थोड़ा स्ट्रेस हो गया कि मुझे क्या बोलना है आगे. But I was just writing my points के, so I was thinking it's more of a panel discussion. But यहाँ पे तो खुद ही सब कुछ बोलना पड़ेगा. Panel discussion is easy, you know. Question कुछ भी पूछे, but जो आप आंसर रट के आए आपको वही बोलना है, right? So, you know, thank you so much. I always wanted to, you know, staying in Delhi, Noida, where the maritime community is so small. I always wanted to have, you know, such gatherings and tried to do it, but could not go beyond a WhatsApp community. So, you know, thanks to Prateek for what he's doing, because this is incredible. There are so many events that happen in Mumbai all the time, but nothing in Delhi. So, you know, seeing people here taking out time and you know, एक बहुत proud feeling होती है whenever you go on board also, or whenever you meet anybody outside India also who's from Delhi, ना, there's an instant connection कि अरे दिल्ली का है, काम दे देगा, you know. So thank you so much for this this great honor, speaking after such amazing dignitaries. So I loved you know, hearing Professor Chaudhary. You were very right in what you said about him. I'll give you a brief about a little bit about my introduction, and then I'll start a little bit on the company. I will not be pitching the company. I will just, since it's about capital, मैं सिर्फ पैसों की बात करूँगा और hopes और aspirations की बात करूँगा, जो मैं खुद भी देखता हूँ और मैं, you know, बाकियों को भी दिखाता हूँ. मैंने अभी तक इन 8 साल 9 साल शिप्सकार्ट में वही सीखा है. I was sailing, started my journey in 2003, was a cadet at ARI, and then went on to sail on bulk carriers, tankers, and then last 7 years of my career I was on offshore vessels. Offshore was like the best time that I had. 7 years, 2 on, 2 off, sometimes 42 days on, 42 days off. Really nice salary. Really, I mean, it's really hard to ignore still that, you know, that was the amount of money that I was earning. Second officers were getting as much as captains were getting in bulk carriers, so I had seen that time, and was, you know, the ships was working with the best company, a French company having 400 plus ships, you know, very nice life, and you were working in a place like Abu Dhabi, so you could just go out, you know, have a drink, or, you know, you could go out and watch a movie and come back. So it was very convenient life. So I left sailing when everything was like very nice for me, you know. And then one fine day, one of my friends, and he's actually the founder of Dine Out, he always tells me to take his name whenever, you know, and Dine Out is obviously a very big company acquired by Swiggy, everybody knows, right? But Vivek always tells me that, you know, you have to pay me a lot, you know, jo bhi teri life mein achhi cheezein hui hain is all because of me. So we were having drinks, and he told me that there should be an Amazon for ships, and somehow, and he just mentioned this Amazon for ships one line, and I was like, this idea got stuck to me, and I said, you know, I want to build something like this. When, how, with whom, did not know. And I went home, and I think the next night I booked the domain shipscart.com. This is back in 2016. I'm not just saying this just for the, you know, part of storytelling, but I really booked the domain back in 2016, thinking that one day I will start this company with the name Shipscart. I wanted to start Shipcart, but it was already, the domain was already taken, and I would not pay $2,000 for a S. So I thought, you know, might as well just take Shipscart. And I was so passionate about, you know, how I want to do this and where I want to do and who will be working with us, that I just randomly used to talk to a lot of people about it. And one of the times I spoke to my friend, and we got going, and he came on board. And then obviously I told my third friend, and we all came on board. I would just say to people who want to start, it's obviously a very tough journey. But, you know, pressure is a privilege. Not many people can handle it. Not many people have it. So I always have felt that the days that are very gloomy, you must, you know, appreciate the fact that that, you know, you are the chosen one to build something, you know, expansive and build something really, really nice, and that's why you are getting that pressure, right? Now, you know, when you're a small company, the pressures are different. When you're a bigger company, the pressures are different. Now we have a team of about 100 odd people. Earlier, the pressure was only to get business. Now the pressure is not just business, but to look after the 100 people and their families also. You cannot just say that tomorrow the company is not doing well and I'm just firing about 50 odd people. It's very, very tough, right? So Shipscart wanted to build something like an Amazon. Our industry is obviously very traditional, using legacy systems, and we wanted to bring a breath of fresh air, wherein you could see pictures, images, whatever information you want before buying a product is available. But the unfortunate part was that none of us were technology enthusiasts, or we did not know anything about technology, right? And that's when we went to a third party, built a software, did not work, went to a second company, and this company was the game-changing company for us. Delhi-based again, and what they used to do is they were investors, and it's a brilliant idea, and they still exist, wherein they don't put money into your company, they take equity in lieu of giving you technological services. So they will be your CTO, they will be having your their full technology team for you, but the company's name is T9 Labs, but they will give you the complete technology support, and they will do this for the next 2.5 years without taking, they used to take a very small amount, whatever amount you're comfortable giving, right? And even there were companies which used to never give anything, right? Because you don't have the money also, correct, in the initial stage. They built something very, very amazing for us. Now, that software was not widely used across the ships because obviously we might not be doing some things right, the industry was not yet ready for us, and so on. But the software gave us the visibility, it gave us the name, it gave us the investors, it gave us a lot of things. Obviously, it gave us clients as well. But slowly, we started building on our ship supply business also. So Shipscart basically has two verticals. One is the software and the other is the ship supply business, right? And the software business was my dream, not the ship supply business so much, but ship supply business is the bread and butter. As we speak right now, we've just finished, we've on our ship supply side of business, we've done a turnover of $17.5 million, which is somewhere around 160 crores, right? And it's, when I say that, it is not something that I wanted to fully engross myself in, but it was always part of the plan that we will be one of the largest ship suppliers in India. We will have warehouses pan-India, and we will cater to the Indian market, right? But it took me 7 to 8 years to understand what the client actually wants, and how we need to project to the client, how we need to integrate our systems, how we need to integrate the system so that tomorrow if you want to use Shipscart, you can just start using it. Whenever we used to go to clients earlier, what used to happen is that they would just talk about integration, and it has taken us, this industry is so slow to respond, that it has taken us one year to do an integration which can be done in 1 month, right? Because they are generally slow. The industries were generally very slow. So we did that and did the integrations, and today we are in a position where we have integrated with most of the the ERP service providers, but I don't want to bore you on that. I just want to share a few pointers from our journey for where we've achieved, right? One of the things that I've learned so far, that when you're running a company and you're at the growth stage, we are at a growth stage, right? You will only have the people besides you, the team, right? And wholly and solely my job as a CEO has been to do people management, really. Now after 8 years, I really don't want to get into everything and anything, and I depend on people. But if you see our culture in the company, people, if you ask anybody within our organization, the team members, that how is Shipscart as a company, they will tell you that they make us work a lot, but there is definitely no toxic culture. Everybody is available for everybody, everybody is available for the families. And how did we do that? We did that by telling them that they are also part owners of the company. We gave them ESOPs. अब जब ESOP की बातें आती हैं ना, तो लोगों का exposure इतना ज़्यादा नहीं होता. If you ask me also, मुझे बस इतना पता था कि it's a employee stock option, plan. But even if I ask my partners or anybody within the organization, they will also not know. So हमने सबको ESOP दे तो दिए, 3 साल में वेस्ट होंगे, 4 साल में वेस्ट होंगे और 5 साल में वेस्ट होंगे. But people who are earning 35-40,000 rupees, people who is a warehouse executive in the organization, how will he know what this money can become, right? How will he know? So what we did this year is that 3 साल हो गए थे जब सबने दिए थे, तो वेस्टिंग 3 साल की हो गई थी, 25% shares मिलने थे. What we did is that we asked them that we want to buy your shares. So we give you like a X amount per share. 3 share आपके वेस्ट हुए हम. So उससे क्या हुआ? There was a and we spent a lot of money. Like even for 6-7 people जिनके वेस्ट हुए थे शुरू में, we spent like lakhs, 30-40 lakh rupees just to buy their shares. So it is direct hit on my P&L, right? Because मुझे तो कुछ नहीं मिल रहा, right? But I just wanted to pass this message कि ये real money है, ये पैसा आपके काम आएगा. And that's what I said that the people in this company feel that this is their own. That's why they work 12 बजे. मैं बोलता नहीं कि 12 बजे तक काम करो. But जो हमारी जो बोलते हैं, अगर हमको बोलना है संडे को भी, तो हम खुल के बोलते हैं कि संडे को भी वो कर लो. Because people are happily doing this. The second part was to always have medical insurances for them and the family. Always wanted to have this. That ये family की medical insurances. See, if you're taking care of most of the things of the people, your 80% work is done. As per me, that's what I feel. So medical insurance with the family, we did. For parents also, they could pay us very small, meager amount and get it done from the same company that we had taken the medical insurances. And the third part, what we did now is to have lunch served with the office. So we're starting off with first company, first branch that we have, where I feel, Delhi branches would be the last. They are the privileged lot. But the first branch where you're actually, running warehouses, we wanted to do that. So this, couple of things that we have done overall has actually, been, this major success factor in building the company that we have built so far. The market is so vast that we can, the opportunity is, so big in front of us that we can actually build something so amazing and, so realistically big that it'll take generations to, to actually go to that level, because the industry provides us with that opportunity. There is nothing what we are, something like what we are doing, and that's why I tell the people that we need to really push ourselves more. This is the time. 2-3 saal. You don't have to work here forever, right? People have other aspirations, other things to do as well. But yes, these three things primarily have made the company today what it is. We as a company today, as I said, that have 2 verticals: the ship supply business, the software business. The software business is the SaaS, where we integrate with platforms and give shipping companies, procurement teams, a ShipScart like platform which has AI enabled features, other features which they can just start using from the word go, because the integration is already done. And ship supply business, we supply to ships whatever they require, XYZ, any category. In India, we have our own warehouses, and outside of India, we partner with suppliers who do the job for us. Nothing else that I want to add, nothing else that comes to my mind. But the last bit that I'll just say that since beginning, the idea was always to be rich. That's why you join ships also, right? Paisa kamana hai, and that was always the target. I felt that I was always a very misfit on ships. मुझे लगता था कि मैं वो नहीं, I'm there just because I want to earn money. I'm not there because my heart is there. The heart always wanted to do something else, right? And I always, before I leave, I always believe in the power of manifestation. I'll tell you, the house that I stay in right now is one of the most what I would say that one of the most nicest, cleanest, and a very good society that I stay in. But whenever I used to pass that road, I used to think that how can I buy this house? How can I buy this house? How can I buy this house? And but I didn't have the money, obviously. So one fine day I was just talking to somebody, and he told me that that he sold off his company. So I said, okay, like these companies can also be sold, because I was running one of them on the side. And he said, yeah, these companies can be sold. And you won't believe that in the next 10 days, I reached out to 15 investors and asked them that if they would be interested in buying the company. And in those same 15 days, I got a positive answer from a few, but a very firm answer from one, saying that I would want to buy it. I said, okay, so we were talking about valuations and stuff, right? I mean, I don't even know the valuation of the company. I just give them a random number के इतने में से मैं कम में बेचूंगा ही नहीं. And he said, नहीं, बहुत ज़्यादा है. अब if somebody had given me even 1 crore for that, I was like, ले लो, please, just give me money. But I just gave a random number, and he said, नहीं, थोड़ा कम. He says, okay, चलो, इससे कम तो मैं बिल्कुल नहीं करूँगा. And actually they, bought the company in that, and I bought the house. So I'm just saying, the power of manifestation is so strong that, you have to visualize, you have to keep thinking, कि हाँ ये हो सकता है, ये होगा, right? And the power, and also never neglect the power of LinkedIn also. LinkedIn is huge, and I am like the biggest fan of LinkedIn. Our investors, so far in the last 3 years, we've raised close to 32 crore rupees of investment, so about $3.84 million. And if you ask me where did we find the investors from, all from LinkedIn. Just random connects and meeting them, and these investors are not small investors, they are the powerhouse of the maritime industry. So manifest, think that you can earn. I always sleep with the dream of being very rich, and I want to be rich, and I have I don't feel sorry, obviously not, nobody should feel sorry for being rich. And so manifest a lot, be positive, and I think take care of your people. That's the most important. You take care of people, half the work is done. Thank you very much.
ये मेरा पोर्शन ना बाद में आने वाला था, बट क्योंकि कैप्टन ध्रुव ने मैनिफेस्टेशन एक थीम बना लिया, तो उस पर कंटिन्यू करता हूँ. सो 3-4 महीने इनटू रियल एस्टेट आई डिसाइड कि प्रॉब्लम को पूरा सॉल्व करना है, प्रॉब्लम रियल एस्टेट की, तो आई हैव टू बी ए डेवलपर. क्योंकि हम लोग एक ब्रोकरेज प्लेटफॉर्म चला रहे थे, उसके पहले दूसरे का प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे थे. गोवा में वी आर डेवलपिंग अ 500 एकड़ टाउनशिप, बट मेरी वाइफ का ना, शी लाइक्स माउंटेन्स, तो यार गोवा अच्छा नहीं है, शी वॉज नॉट एंजॉइंग गोवा. तो फिर मैं बोला देखते हैं, माउंटेन खोजते हैं कि अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए खोज रहे थे. तो वी वेंट टू अ प्लेस कॉल्ड शिमला, कि कुछ थोड़ा लैंड खरीद लेंगे, वहाँ पे कोई बना देंगे, एक डेवलपर एज अ जर्नी स्टार्ट हो जाएगी. 4 फ्लैट बनाएंगे, 3 दोस्तों को बेच देंगे, एक अपना रहेगा उसमें, तो बन जाएंगे बिल्डर छोटे. एंड दिस वाज आई गेस स्टार्ट ऑफ मैनिफेस्टेशन, जो बोल रहे हैं कि करना बहुत जरूरी है. तो मैं शिमला गया, तो मैं थोड़े बड़े लैंड पर अपनी औकात से ऊपर काम करता हूँ हमेशा. ये मेरी ना बहुत अच्छी आदत है कि अगर मेरी औकात 1 रुपए की है, तो हम 10 रुपए की चीज कर रहे होंगे उस समय, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि अगर ऐसे करेंगे तो देन गॉड टेक्स केयर ऑफ द रिमेनिंग 9 रुपीज. अगर आप पास 1 रुपया, आप 1 ही रुपया काम करोगे तो कभी बढ़ नहीं पाओगे. तो मैं बड़े लैंड पार्सल खोज रहा था शिमला में. तो जिस बड़े लैंड पार्सल में बोले भाई किसका है, तो लोग बोले तारा देवी का है. मुझे जो जहाँ कुछ भी पसंद है, किसी से भी पूछ लूं तो लोग बोले भाई तारा देवी का है. तो बोले यार ये तो भू माफिया हो गया तारा देवी शिमला का, अब मिलना चाहिए इसके ना. So then I met the founder of तारा देवी. तो फिर मुझे पता चला कि the founder of तारा देवी was nephew of director of DMET. मैंने बोला यार अब तो यहाँ कुछ हो जाएगा, अब बस यही कनेक्शन चाहिए कुछ भी करने के लिए। So शिमला से थोड़ी सी दूर एक जगह है जिसको कुफरी बोलते हैं। I guess lot of people have been. अब मेरी वाइफ गई ना वहाँ, तो she went mad कि भाई अगर तुम शिमला में कुछ कर रहे हो तो यहीं करो। मैंने बोला यार जमीन बहुत महंगी है यहाँ पे, बहुत महंगी है, मतलब औकात के सच में 10 गुना ही पार है, कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे। मैं बोला चलो बात करते हैं, क्योंकि वहां पे भी लैंड पार्सल तारा देवी का ही है। तो मैं गया कि सर इतना तो मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, बट वी कैन को डेवलप, और बड़ा डेवलपर, और मैं एज ए डेवलपर कुछ नहीं किया हूँ, जीरो। हमारे पास अपना एडटेक का एक्सपीरियंस है, ब्रोकरेज प्लेटफॉर्म का एक्सपीरियंस है, डेवलपमेंट का जीरो एक्सपीरियंस। एंड देन फिर हमने कहानी चालू की डीएमईटी वाली कि सर आपके चाचा जी बहुत क्लोज है सबके, और मैंने प्रूफ कराया कि देखो ग्रुप में भी बात होती है, आप डीसी अग्निहोत्री के नेफ्यू हैं वो। तो देन उन्होंने बोला चलो एक प्रोजेक्ट साथ में कर लेते हैं। एंड देन वी रियलाइज हुआ कि यार सो दिस इज पॉसिबल फॉर मी। एंड वो प्रोजेक्ट मैं दिखा रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, सचिन। तो मैं तारीफ नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि आधा मैंने बेच ही दिया है, अभी कुछ भी प्री लॉन्च नहीं किया। हम लोग सबसे अच्छी बात होती है ना कि हमारे कुछ बैचमेंट सेलिंग कर ही रहे होते हैं। 80% मेरा बैच अभी भी सेलिंग कर रहा है, और वो रियल एस्टेट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। तो मुझे इधर उधर नहीं जाना होता, अपने बैचमेंट को नापना होता है सीधे, 2 बैच ऊपर 2 बैच नीचे, हम लोग की पूरी फ्रीक्वेंसी बैठी रहती है। बट तो अगर हिल स्टेशन में सबसे ब्यूटीफुल साइट मुझे, एंड आई डिड द रिसर्च, कोई देखी तो मुझे लगा इससे अच्छी साइट इंडिया में तो नहीं है इस समय। और वो जो लैंड पैच था, क्योंकि मेरी बेटी वहां पे एक फन वर्ल्ड करके बना हुआ है, वहां पे शी जस्ट वेंट मैड क्योंकि स्नो दिख रहा था उसको आने ही था वहां से। तो मैंने बोला अगर एक छोटा सा घर होता तो मजा आ गया होता वहां पे। एंड देन I guess thanks to that manifestation only, क्योंकि औकात तो मेरी उस समय भी नहीं थी करने की, and this project is happening as we speak. And then उसके बाद as a developer, I'm also developing a township in Patna. उसके बाद वो हो गया, ये लॉन्च बाद में हुआ। And इसमें क्यों आगे बढ़ गया मैं, क्योंकि the people involved were so sorted कि ऐसा लगता है जब आप बात करते हो तो अपने ही लोग हैं, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, बैंकर एंड रियल्टर्स हैं, एंड एथिक्स, गवर्नेंस, प्रॉफिट विद पर्पस, सब कुछ पूरा ना टिक बॉक्स क्लिक हो रहे थे इनके साथ। तो मिला कि यार इनके साथ कर सकते हैं काम। एंड अभी आज की डेट में मैं अपनी बीवी से जितनी बात करता हूँ उतनी ही पैरेलल बात मैं अजीत सर से भी करता हूँ, क्योंकि बहुत कुछ सीखना होता है। अभी शायद है नहीं, अजीत सर की वाइफ है शायद यहाँ पे, हाँ, तो मैं उनको बुलाना चाहूंगा, बट शो ए वीडियो। तो ये एक्चुअल 3D रेंडर है, प्रोजेक्ट कैसा होगा। So this is the downtown Kufri studio that we are building. भैया भैया स्क्रीन कट रही है, स्क्रीन कट रही है आपकी। there's something I'm really proud of. I guess as start of full-time journey as a developer now. कि तारा देवी के साथ जुड़ के काम कर रहे हैं हम लोग. So in comparison, अगर how do you define तारा देवी group in online? तो ये शिमला के DLF हैं. सबसे सिंपल डेफिनेशन यही है. तो मैं अजीत से बात कर रहा था कि भाई कोई तो आएगा ना, कोई बड़ा बिल्डर कभी तो बनेगा शिमला में. तो अजीत बोलते हैं जमीन तो सारी मेरे ही पास है, बनाएगा कहाँ? So that is and ये अजीत आफ्टर लंच सेशन रहेगा. So you guys should ask. Very interesting journey. जहाँ अपनी बैंक की क्लरिकल नौकरी से वो बंदा आगे बढ़ा है, and now he has become the largest developer of a city, beautiful city called Shimla. And उनकी वाइफ भी यहाँ पे हैं जिन्होंने वो जर्नी उनके साथ की है. एंड कुछ ड्रॉबैक भी है जीत का, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा सच बोलता है. तो इतना सच बोलने वाला बिल्डर मैंने नहीं देखा. आई गेस दैट मेक्स हिम स्पेशल एंड दैट्स अ mariner blood flowing inside his DNA as well. क्योंकि आप मरीनर्स को बहुत कम देखोगे कि झूठ बोलते हैं, क्योंकि बहुत भारी पड़ता है शिप पे झूठ बोलना. मैं तो पांचों में बोलता था थोड़ा बहुत झूठ, और मेरे बहुत झूठ पकड़े गए. तो फिर 2-3 महीने बाद मैंने फिर झूठ बोलना छोड़ दिया था शिप पे भी. सो एज अ मरीनर वी लर्न टू स्पीक ट्रुथ. एंड आई गेस अब ये प्रोजेक्ट है, इससे अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा क्योंकि इससे अच्छी साइट नहीं है कहीं भी. तो छोटा ही प्रोजेक्ट है बट इससे अच्छा नहीं है कुछ. सो आई गेस इस इवेंट में मुझे ये भी लॉन्च करना था. इसका नाम है डाउनटाउन कुफरी. थैंक्स टू सपोर्ट ऑफ तारा देवी ग्रुप वी आर लॉन्चिंग दिस, एंड आई गेस अ राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर देम एज वेल. टीम है, सब डिटेल है, वी कैन डिस्कस अबाउट दैट. कोई मुझे बोले चाय लग गई है तो मैं एक छोटा ब्रेक दूंगा. चाय लग गई सर? 2 मिनट है चाय लगने के लिए.